Michael Jackson. Was he an emotional projector or a reflector? Here to bring the world together through his music, he was able to share the frequency of love and unity. After watching his movie, you can see that his purpose was clear from the beginning of his life. But was he a reflector or an emotional projector? The founder of human design, Uru Ha, believed he was a reflector, but many still dispute his time of birth. Was it 7:33 a.m. or 7:33 p.m.? So let's take a look at the difference in the birth charts. The main difference would have been in his sun and earth gates. If he was a reflector, they would have been gate 59 and gate 55, and his incarnation cross would have been the left angle cross of spirit, which is about expressing your emotional truth in order to build deeper levels of connection and intimacy. But if he was an emotional projector, his sun and earth gates would have been gate 40 and gate 37, and his incarnation cross would have been the right angle cross of planning, which is the same as the current global incarnation cross we are in according to human design, ending in 2027. If Michael's incarnation cross was the right angle cross of planning, then it shows you that he was here to assist in influencing the evolution process of the collective and to contribute to moving his family or community forward. John F. Kennedy also had this incarnation cross, and he was also someone that was dedicated to his family and had a major impact on the collective. And in fact, if MJ was an emotional projector, they would have had very similar body graphs with the same two centers defined and 7 open centers. The two defined centers would have been a defined solar plexus and a defined heart center. Having a defined ego would make sense for Michael based on him using his will to push himself beyond his limits and working hard to prove that he was the greatest musician of all time. But if he was a reflector with all of his centers undefined, then it could be said that he was able to absorb the energy of those around him and channel it into his music. But he could possibly do this with only 2 defined centers as a projector. I'm a projector with only 2 defined centers, and I'm constantly experiencing and absorbing the energy of those around me. So I can imagine it's somewhat similar to what reflectors experience, except their ability to release what they absorb once they remove themselves from the environment. Let's take a closer look at the gates.